Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind. We gotta get into the leftist lies and leftist nonsense. Oh, how some of the things the left says in their defense just don't seem to age very well, huh? Every single frickin' time they go on the record debunking Republican conspiracy theories, only to end up looking like complete fools with egg on their face only a few short months later. Well, that's exactly what's currently happening. How many times have Biden officials been asked, is the border open? Are we seeing open border policies?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
We have taken unprecedented action over the past year and a half to secure our border.
And we have a process in place to manage migrants at the border. We're working to make sure it's safe and orderly and humane.
The border is closed.
We agree that the border is secure.
The border is secure.
A million different times we've heard it from Kamala Harris, from Joe Biden, from Secretary Mayorkas, from Jen Psaki when she was the press secretary, to now Karine Jean-Pierre. They all say the border is secure. We don't have an open border. Then they go as far to claim that actually it's Donald Trump's fault and a broken immigration system, whatever. You know, kind of interesting how they're playing both sides there. No, there's no crisis. The border is totally secure. It's not an open border. But also it's a border crisis, but that's not our fault. No, that's Donald Trump's fault. And we're trying to deal with it, and we're doing the best we can, but the border is definitely secure. You know, those two concepts can't exist mutually. Those are mutually exclusive concepts. But anyways, that's the base context that we need for this video. That's the little flashback. They keep telling us that the border is secure. And of course, the leftist mainstream media has been attempting to protect Joe Biden and the Democrats on the issue of the border until, well, they accidentally are forced to admit the truth. Here's a hilarious little moment on CNN where they walked into a situation that was so brazen and so blatant that even they couldn't deny it. They couldn't spin the frickin' story. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, CNN is forced to accidentally admit the truth for once. Take a look at this segment from Jesse Waters on Fox News.
It was a hoax, and the laptop was real. CNN has finally come around. They've just reported that the border is wide open. CNN sent a crew down to the border near San Diego and visited a guy whose backyard's a migrant highway. The guy's like an illegal alien crossing guard. Even CNN was shocked.
I just have to allow them to go through my property. Where are you from?
Turkey. This is video shot by Brian Silvas, whose property is up against the U.S.-Mexico border. Silvas wanted to show me where he believes the migrants are crossing the border into his property. As soon as we arrived, we encountered about a dozen walking right in.
It's a pretty simple cross over into the U.S., and like that family, it's not that hard. They just step in and they're here.
Just an hour after we left Silvas's property, a wildlife camera we had set up at the location captured another group of migrants, much larger than the last, entering the U.S.
So our very own stupid son of a border doozy, Bill Melugin, has been reporting this for years. What took CNN so long to figure it out? But not everyone's figured it out.
One common Republican claim is that the U.S. has a, quote, open border under Joe Biden. That is just not true.
And the border is not open. That is something that is peddled as a talking point, but it's not true.
I want to be very clear. Our borders are not open.
We have a secure border.
Oh, well, isn't that interesting? It's almost as if everything we've been saying about the southern border has been true, has been completely accurate, and hasn't been a Republican conspiracy theory this entire time. It turns out that all Democrats had to do to get exposure to the basic truth was not play partisan politics, was not just instantly reject claims or political rhetoric on the right because it's coming from the right. No, all they had to do to discover the truth was get on the ground, put their freaking boots on, and walk outside and see for themselves. The border is wide frickin' open. And the numbers that we're seeing come through on a daily basis at this point are most likely far greater than what is being reported by the government in their official CBP releases. You know, they love to say that every month we had 200,000, roughly 200,000 apprehensions, which is already, astronomical. It's a huge crisis at that point. But how many people are getting away? They list known gotaways. I think last month month they reported 1,100 known gotaways. 1,100? I mean, screw off 1,100. The real number is probably tens of thousands, maybe 100,000. You know, the likely number attached to Joe Biden's border crisis is likely close to 300,000 illegal border crossings a month. There's over 2 million people coming in a year. Every fiscal year, there's over 2 million illegal immigrants entering the nation that we know of, and most likely the number is well over 3. Nothing to see here, folks. Just 3 million illegal migrants a year sneaking into the country, a good chunk of them probably staying. In what universe can the United States of America sustain that type of influx? It's simply irrational. It makes absolutely no sense. And it's a situation that has become so uncontrollable, so volatile, that it's creating massive national security concerns. Did you notice from the clip the landowner, recording on his video, asked those individuals where they came from, and I think they responded with Turkey. People are coming from across the globe. We're not talking about Mexican illegal immigration or even South American illegal immigration. We're talking about the world is flying to Mexico and illegally crossing into the United States. We have absolutely no idea who is coming through. Most likely ISIS, Taliban, Al-Qaeda, Hezbollah, Hamas members are planting sleeper cells in the United States, and we aren't the wiser. I mean, we're stopping some of it. We've seen historic numbers of people on the terrorist watch list being apprehended at the southern border. But again, if we're catching 10, then it's likely that another 10 are sneaking through undetected, under the radar. That is a national security nightmare. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next, let's call it 5, 10, 15 years, we see a horrific attack on Americans from somebody who slipped through the cracks. The problem is right now that the cracks are freaking chasms. If we had any semblance of border security or even just rhetoric that disincentivized illegal migration, probably would be seeing half the numbers we're currently seeing. But this administration is so incredibly dishonest. They are so deceitful. They're playing some sort of game at the southern border. Clearly, there's some sort of incentive from this administration to ensure that this continues. The left has said that the right is out of line for claiming that the border is open. There's illegal immigration, sure, but the border isn't open. The border is absolutely freaking open. All you gotta do is pack your stuff up, walk across, and it's done. That is border security. That is the Southern American border in 2023. It's not even a border. It's not even a thing. It's an arbitrary line that people have no respect for anymore. And why blame them? I mean, I don't blame them. Why have respect for something that the country itself seems to not have respect for, that the president himself seems to not give a hoot about? It's absolutely shocking. The flow is never ending. There seems to be no intent from the federal government to crack down on illegal immigration, on people working illegally, creating downward pressure on wages. There seems to be no intent to enforce the law. And so what do we get? Border anarchy. Chaos. Nobody seems to know what's going on. Nobody seems to care. Of course, until the political ramifications become too much to bear. It seems as though that's a calculated risk. That's a risk the Democrat Party is willing to take on the odd chance that they pass amnesty and gain millions upon millions of legal Democrat voters. What an absolute scam. It's never been a conspiracy theory. It's just a conspiracy. It's a fact. There's no theory. This is what the Democrats are doing. It's an open frickin' border. And now even CNN is forced to admit that very clear reality. Sorry, leftoids. Another talking point in the dumpster. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, friends, and I'll see you on the next one.